The Chinese Communist Party, once famous for pillaging from the natural world, has set to protecting parts of it, but the country's eco-authoritarian approach deserves scrutiny. Brother, yes. China is one of the few industrialized countries that's turning the clock on anthropogenic climate change, but at what cost? That is fucking awesome. Every China story is like a capital's hellhole ruined China's mightiest rivers, but then they fixed it with climate Stalinism, but at what cost? I don't know what the cost is. I only know that the Yellow River has changed course 6 times throughout history and burst its banks over 1,590 times. Oh, also, consumers, rejoice. China has begun mass producing domestically developed immersion deep ultraviolet lithography machines, which is, of course, a technology crucial to advanced chip making, marking a key step forward in Beijing's drive to reduce its reliance on foreign technologies. So yeah, consumers rejoice. China number 1, not number 2, but number 1. Okay? Let commerce flow. It's going to be really funny when they flood the American market with unbelievably affordable, like insanely affordable GPUs and all of these different like RAM, all this shit that you currently do not have access to because we're all full systems go on, AI shit. It's all being spent on AI. And what's really funny about it is I'm letting you know right now, I haven't been wrong so far. The American government is going to ban it. The American government is going to ban it, okay? There will be a black market for Chinese RAM and Chinese GPUs that will still be endlessly cheaper. But the American government will abso-fucking-lutely ban this, and this will then cause even more backlash. This will create an environment where people are even more pro-China than they ever have been in the Western world. Mark my fucking words. In just 2 weeks, China has broken through the 3 strongest fortresses the U.S. has built around AI. Investors have a right to be nervous. Remember when I talked about the Chinese AI initiatives being almost entirely... the Chinese AI initiatives have been entirely invested in putting a dent in the American stock market, pretty much. And everyone yelled at me and said, you're wrong. Well, this is another aspect of it. They already basically did with the Chinese EVs by putting a massive tariff. Yeah, I know. There was also this fucking insane thing. China has fired up the world's biggest superconducting magnet for a nuclear fusion project. They are... China just finished a magnet that weighs 582 tons, heavier than a fully loaded Boeing 747. This is the toroidal field coil for the country's artificial sun machine in Hefei, built to recreate here on Earth the reaction that powers the actual sun. It stands 21 meters long, 12 meters wide, and weighs 582 tons, heavier than 4 adult blue whales packed into one magnet. Its job is to hold plasma at 100 million degrees so it never touches the wall. Engineers call it an invisible magnetic cage. 16 of them will form a ring, 100 kiloamps, each 6.5 Tesla at the center. Operating temperature, minus 269 Celsius. Design life, 60 years. A second magnet, the central solenoid, was rated for 46.5 kiloamps. They pushed it to 60. Every critical part was designed and built at home with no reliance on foreign technology. A working fusion power plant is still years away, but clearing this hurdle pulls the dream of near limitless clean energy one serious step closer. I'm going to keep it $1.50 with you. There is 0% chance with the current way that the oil and gas lobby works in this country, with the fossil fuel industry works in this country, that such a revolutionary technology that would basically fucking wipe out the profits from this massively consequential sector in the American economy would ever take root, would ever get off the ground. They would probably assassinate you. Remember how we talked about the other thing about, the Chinese lithography machines that are going to be mass producing super cheap GPUs that you won't be able to get because they're going to call it, they're going to be cheating. They're going to be cheating in international trade. Yeah, this is going to be considered a weapon, a super weapon. Metal Gear. This is literally the plot of Spider-Man 2, but Chinese. Yeah, I don't know if you know this, American, but this is real life. It's not the plot of a comic book movie. Americans look at something that's happening in the real world in China and go, wow, this is just like a comic book story, which is the only thing that we create. Americans look to this and go, how many burgers can I cook up with this? Yeah. China has spent about $1.5 billion a year on fusion, double the US DOE fusion budget. Instead, America spends about $1 billion a day bombing Iran. So they get infinite energy while we get high gas prices. You're a big Bernie Sanders supporter. What are your thoughts on him staunchly opposed to nuclear energy for his entire career? Regulations have strangled our nuclear energy industry for decades, and those regulations have been largely imposed and surrounded by the political left. Yeah, I'm more. I used to be scared of nuclear technology as well, but nowadays I'm in a more fuck it, we ball kind of attitude. One Chinese year is the equivalent to 7 European years. 1 year and a half ago versus today. ASML CEO says China is 10 to 15 years behind in chip making capabilities. ASML drops after news of Chinese chip tool rival. See, leftist Johnny Harris vindicates HasAnabi's global energy predictions even before Epstein
America
Fury.
and China are in a new nuclear arms race. But this time, it's different.
We have an energy shortage in America.
China is outpacing the United States by at least a decade in developing nuclear power.
If American companies don't lead on this, then the jobs, the wealth won't develop here, they'll develop in China.
The United States is currently the world's leading nuclear energy producer, with 94 operational
I'm going to keep it $150. I don't think we're going to have to worry about jobs at all. If the way things are going continue that way, I think nobody's going to have jobs, let alone at the fucking nuclear reactor, okay? Oh no, we won't have the competitive edge in nuclear technology. We won't be able to have jobs in nuclear technology. Yeah, no, we're not going to have anything. We don't have anything. We have nothing. We just have bombs. And even then, we don't even have the bombs. We don't even have the bombs. The one thing that this stupid fucking country, the one industry that this goddamn country holds on to beyond making baby murder machines, F-350 pickup trucks that are 17 sizes too large, okay, is weapons. That's all we do. We build fucking bombs. That's what this country has been doing. That's the only domestic manufacturing that remains on U.S. soil. And we don't even make them efficient enough. Our procurement strategies are inefficient. We're getting our shit pushed in by a fucking middle power that is outproducing us in the one sector that we're supposed to be the top dog in. And even then, we can't even fucking make them without Chinese magnets. Meanwhile, you got dumb fucks in here who still yell at me for calling this shit out for the last decade, really. Dumb fucks who come in here and they're like, oh, shut the fuck up, Hasan, you fucking Chinese dick rider, you fucking piece of shit. Oh, I bet you love Mao Zedong a lot. Bro, we are cooked. What utility is there to just close your ears, shut off your eyes, and go, la, 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 I can't hear you, as China is rising every damn day? These motherfuckers don't even want to study their adversary. I don't believe China is an adversary. I don't want to treat China like an adversary. I want to treat it like a partner. But it's going to come to a point where we're going to have to beg them. We're going to have to beg them that they treat us like an even partner. Okay? At least right now we have some level of leverage, or we did for the last like 2 decades, where we could have foreseen this rise of China and maybe managed it so that we could have been like, hey, we're reliable partners to one another. Let's not wage war. There's going to come a point where we have to beg. Okay? We're getting there. Yeah, Tofu Dreg fusion nuclear reactor, Tofu Dreg ASML chip manufacturing. Dude, that Tofu Dreg construction shit still, like I went to China. I stayed in the hotels. I saw the buildings. I saw the high-speed rail. I was inside of the trains. Okay? I came back here to the United States of America, and in 2026, there's still motherfuckers in my community that go, oh, dude, those buildings are Tofu Dreg buildings. Oh, dude, they still do what is it? They do sewer oil. Chinese food is made with sewer oil. It's dookie oil. It's like, brother, you are running on like propaganda from 30 years ago at this point. Like, update the fucking talking points. Update the talking points, man. What do you mean tofu dreg? Gutter oil. That's what it's called. Yeah. Like the greatest, here's the thing. The biggest wake-up call should have been, and I remember this when it was happening, the biggest wake-up call should have been ghost cities. Okay? Because the Western mind, the Western Anglosphere mind cannot comprehend building homes with serving the purpose of shelter in mind. That they were like, oh, look at these fucking idiots. They're building ghost cities. And we did this to North Korea. Like, maybe 5 years ago too. We didn't even learn our lesson from China. We did the ghost city shit in North Korea too. The Western brain, the primitive Western mind cannot comprehend a country that builds homes not as a speculative asset, not as simple economic activity, but instead with a long-term shelter plan in mind. But that should have been the point. When those motherfucking ghost cities turned into massive tier 1, tier 2, and tier 3 rapidly urbanized industrial hubs, that's when every American analyst, that's when every Western analyst should have been like, ooh, yikes, we kind of fucked up the ghost city thing. Maybe we should reconsider our approach to China, our analysis to China. No, we did that shit in North Korea. North Korea for like the past half decade has seen a tremendous economic boom. Okay? It's so vast and so rapidly urbanizing that even the Wall Street Journal covered it like last month. A big part of that is because of China, and another big part of that is because of Russia. Okay? North Korea built more housing units in the last year than California did. I am going to repeat that one more time. The Hermit Kingdom, the Democratic People's Republic of Korea, built more housing units than California did. Now you tell me which of the two is a fourth world country, not third world, fourth world country. Which of the two? Which of the two is a fourth world country? Is it the fourth largest economy on the planet? Or is it like the smallest economy on the fucking planet that doesn't even have an entry point, a direct entry point to international markets besides Russia and China? I think you've overcorrected this point because, well, yes, a lot of those ghost cities now have residents in China is still plagued by oversupply from years of constant real estate speculation. The non-commodity approach is a 2020 thing. And even that was temporary. If you want to criticize housing speculation, I would never point to China as a model. Brother, at the end of the day, motherfuckers got housing. And they did actually plan ahead of time. It's both. It wasn't just for economic activity to show the Western world. Our criticism of China was, at the time, that they're just building these fucking ghost cities. They're building these ghost cities. And the only reason why they're building it is to flex on us, to like make it seem like they have, like Western chauvinism is such a fucking brain disease that people literally were pointing to it and saying, oh, they're doing this to, oh, look at them. Look at these small, tiny people that they're building housing to make it seem like they're modernizing. That's fucking insane. Also, look at what happened when our housing market crashed versus what they did. They created an actual soft landing for the speculative bubble that existed. Chatter, they literally executed those pyramid scheme housing people, and then the government bailed out the citizens who invested. They literally nationalized the bank that was helping with the fraud. You show off your best. North Korea does that too. We're not interested in your best. What's your average? Go to the countryside or the smaller towns. Dude, this is the funniest argument. In the last decade, the areas that saw rapid growth and rapid urbanization are the countrysides. Those are the happiest Chinese citizens. This is just going down the copium ladder. Okay? Again, the rural countryside in China is on an upwards trajectory. It's actually the people in the fucking big cities that are not doing as well. The job market is not as great in big cities. There is obviously now a youth unemployment crisis that's beginning to become a problem. It's the countryside that's actually doing better overall. Popping the real estate bubble was the right move, and the CPC is making the right choices right now, but decades of government policy is what created the bubble in the first place. This is a direct consequence of central and provincial government policy. Now we turn around and act like this was always the plan. It wasn't. I give them a lot of credit for actually letting it pop. I mean, the Chinese system is highly competitive and designed around making sure that different provinces compete with one another. And, and in the short term, if one of the provinces is actually yielding promising results, they lean into it. And if it fails, they then turn around and restructure their entire system. It is what it is. It happens. It is clearly the far superior system to what we have, because we have a system that is designed around housing being treated like a speculative asset exclusively. Which one of the two is better? Theirs is clearly demonstrably better. This is not to say China has the best possible system. It's just the better system in comparison to ours. As a representative of the Chinese delegation of the HasAnabi community, I'm very glad that they're letting it pop, but there's also real pain that is coming with that. When you look at the Chinese economy right now, hopefully that rebounds soon with manufacturing growth. As a representative of the Chinese delegation of the HasAnabi community, I'm proud to announce that you are now in the green in terms of approval and appreciation in your coverage of China. Thank you for highlighting the prosperity of the People's Republic. You got it. Please read my previous message. They just built a strategic stockpile of housing. We just don't understand because we're stupid Westoids. Oh no, the government bought too much oil. Good thing it doesn't spoil, and we can release it when the price is too high. Too bad housing spoils. Oh wait. I mean, that's not the whole story. There is truth to some of the there is truth to housing becoming an issue in China. This is Xiamen, China, the 31st most populated city. America's 31st most populated city is Baltimore. Day in the life of me living alone in China's
What's it like
ghost
spending
city.
a day living alone in China's ghost city?
Wait, this isn't even in China. Isn't this in Malaysia? Oh, this is Hainan. This was supposed to be like this massive business hub, and it failed. I never watched this. This is a video from 11 days ago.
My total monthly living expenses here are about $300. Compared with the city I lived in before, I'm spending about 30% less each month. The biggest difference is my rent. It's only half of what I used to pay. This apartment costs just $100 a month. The reason housing prices and rents are so affordable here is that there are a large number of vacant apartments, and there aren't many job opportunities nearby.
Bro, let the Americans in, dude. Let the Americans in, China. Let us in. It is kind of funny because it's like there's obviously still, even in this like largely vacant city that they built, that was never populated. There wasn't enough like there wasn't enough interest from businesses. They're still picking up the trash. Like the streets are still clean. They're still picking up the trash. Are you fucking kidding me? Is working, running water. Dog, we literally have cities that are not vacant, that don't have these amenities all the time.
Most of the people who live here year-round are retirees and children. Many of the retirees have moved here from northern China to escape the cold, and the main reason they choose to stay is the climate. Hainan has a tropical monsoon climate with an average annual temperature of 23 to 27 degrees Celsius. Even in winter, temperatures rarely fall below 16 degrees Celsius, which makes it an attractive place to live year-round.
请输入取件码，点击取件057。
This is bullshit, bro. This is actually fucking bullshit. Straight up.
These apartments were built during China's real estate boom. Around 2020, China's housing market was at its peak.
Yeah,
at
this is
one
Gary,
point,
Indiana.
apartments here were selling for as much as $3,800 per square meter. Today, similar
Dude, nothing has bricked boomer brains like that fucking like side by side will be like, this is your city ravaged by socialism. This is your city under capitalism. And then both of the cities are usually cities under capitalism. But I mean, you could unironically do that. This is a communist city that failed. It's not even a successful one. It's a failed city. This is an American city. But hey, guess what? How much money are they sending to Israel? Because if we're judging by the most important metric, we're still number one, baby. And then the number two metric is how many trillions have they wasted waging war in different regions around the planet? Still number one, baby. America number one, China not even fucking number two, honestly. So who cares? Sometimes you got to ask yourself, what truly matters? What truly matters in life? For me, and hopefully for the rest of the American patriots that are tuning in, what matters most is waging wars overseas and giving money to Israel. And on that front, we're number one. That's it.
properties sell for only around $900 per square meter. After the pandemic, however, the housing market entered a sharp downturn, and home prices fell significantly across much of the country. The market has yet to show a strong recovery. At the same time, the Chinese government tightened regulations on the real estate sector, and many developers ran into serious financial difficulty.
That's really fucked up, actually. Now that he brought it up, I'll be honest. Yeah, I mean, obviously there's a downside to all of this, right? Like real estate speculators and real estate developers falling on hard times. I mean, that's definitely at what cost, honestly. This is far too high of a cost to bear. Yeah.
As a result, the market changed dramatically. Today, prices in the second-hand housing market have fallen well below their previous highs.
What have we done recently? News: the Trump administration plans to end a Medicare subsidy program that has helped keep prescription drug plan premiums down for seniors, according to the Wall Street Journal. The program will expire after 2026, potentially leaving millions of seniors facing higher Part D premiums in 2027. Roughly 25 million Americans have Medicare Part D plans and will learn their 2027 rates this fall. Here's Trump pictured saying, "Suck on that, boomers." Not me, though. I'll be fine. I'm the president. It is pretty funny that Trump is so disgusting to his closest fans. Like, he literally is just like, he will just go on stage and be like, I hate the elderly that voted for me. I hate them, and they shouldn't be able to pay for their medication. Down payments gone, building projects unfinished. People lost so much in these cities that were not livable or never finished. Hainan Island is the Florida of China. However, some local developers were overly ambitious and overbuilt certain projects. However, they are very successful ones near Sanya and to the south of the island.
Many homeowners have found it difficult to sell their apartments, so they've chosen to rent them out instead, often at relatively low prices. Because of the current market, I was able to rent a spacious and comfortable apartment for a very affordable price. On the other hand, many people who bought property here as an investment have suffered significant financial losses. In China, residential developments with very low occupancy rates are often referred to as ghost cities. There are quite a few communities like this across the country.
The question is this. This is a nest egg for a lot of Chinese people, right? But the question is this. What's the fucking home ownership rate? So yes, speculators got the short end of the stick. China has China has the reverse problem that we do. We have a lot of debt. They have too much savings. Okay? But the question remains, is it better to be able to own a home and then lose your financial investment, but still be able to own a home, or never to be able to own a home at all? That's crazy. He just let the bird into his house. This guy has the perfect attitude for living in this fucking ghost city, dude. What the hell?
Income, my main source right now is a part-time online job editing videos for other people. The pay isn't very high, but the hours are flexible. I'm 37 years old, and in China,
Hasan editor, yeah. I pay him unsalted peanuts so that he could feed the birds. The government directly encouraged investment in homes by average citizens. China's stock market is virtually irrelevant, so the average person put everything in real estate. Capital controls are very strong, and there aren't really other investment vehicles. I hope people realize it's not just big landlords like normal salary workers. No, I know. I'm saying that for the average worker, again, the average worker with a shit ton of savings, they wanted to make their savings work for them. They wanted to engage in market speculation. And market speculation is not real market speculation in China. Because in China, there is no real stock market. I understand that a lot of regular salarymen lost a big chunk of their wealth that they were trying to create, or they were trying to grow. This also led to more people just holding on to their money regardless, which is a different issue for China overall. But my question remains: I would still prefer a situation where I lose big swaths of my investments in the housing market while still having a home. That's it. Because, like, what do you think would happen if we actually exploded? If we had, like, not even tight market controls or anything. If we just, like, started actually building a shit ton of housing, started upzoning, what do you think happens to all the fucking boomers? Their savings would melt. Their entire, like, the large majority of homeowners in this country, their entire net worth is baked into their housing, their property value constantly growing. What happens when the property values diminish because there's readily available housing all of a sudden? You know what I mean? Yeah, they would get fucked. But guess what? That's the future I want to live in the United States of America, where people have housing. Sure, there will be a little bit of growing pain in the process, but far better future than the one we currently are looking at right now. Anyway, love you guys. See you tomorrow.